Oh, Athena's not gonna say it. Robin is. No way, man! I totally object.
Robin?
Can't believe I fell for the professor's silver-tongued lies. Why, how dare you talk about your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. Now, I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself.
The statue's on stage. Do I want to know where this is headed?
Yes, we do. Robin's gonna say he helped her. I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So, I asked Professor Means to make it for me.
In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell.
Right. It would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I made most statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth.
Robin.
Objection. Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Ah! And who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords allowed in school. All weapons will be confiscated. Ah!
No pets allowed in swords.
Where is the school nurse when you need one? It seems like Stono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you do well to draw your staff and quick as lightning. Very well.
And no pets allowed?
Very well. I will just have to prove my innocence myself. So your lesson begins in second period. Prepare to be served, old school style.
What does that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Well, we know where this is going.
Pay attention. Robert took over half a day to complete one statue. However, I finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing that statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I possibly have time to go to the art room and commit murder?
You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues?
That's not possible. They were wrapped. Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. The defense team was there and heard her say it too. Don't try to deny it now. Oh yeah, that is true. She did go back at that time.
Yeah. Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin.
Wait. Were both statues actually finished?
Oh, yeah, they both were before they were smashed.
Because, like, why smash them? That's my thing. It's like, if one of them wasn't finished, smashing them would be the best way to cover that.
Yeah. Well, they were smashed on the way down. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours?
It would probably take me at least twice as LONG. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short of time. Yeah, so and she said they were finished.
Yeah.
So probably he got the framework done and he wrapped it up so it would look like it was done. And then he came back later and finished it.
You know, Remember my previous theory that she was killed on stage?
That doesn't hold still, I don't think.
I don't think that the statue was, well, both the statues were never finished. We never asked her which statues, by the way. Right. I still believe that the professor was tied and wrapped around one of them and hanging on the line. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Like, I still believe she was killed backstage, right behind the stage in that little nook.
Most of the other statue, you didn't complete it.
Most of the other statue, what exactly does that mean?
Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell ring. I, in turn, completed the rest of it.
I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you?
Objection! Why you insolent little? It's the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professor Six says I mastered the basics a long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals.
Ah, quiet, you.
Now do you understand? I do not leave the stage until I was done.
Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept what the witnesses claim? They were all wrapped, right? So he couldn't have done anything, but he still would have had the general figure.
Yeah.
The problem is we put it back together. No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out.
The more you struggle, the more you sink like so much legal quicksand. Speak. I used the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m. So it looks like that didn't even matter.
It's that statement. She didn't see it exactly, so we would argue against that. If there's maybe our client only thought she saw the statues.
Silence. A pity for you, but we have already confirmed it with the accused. She is on record as having seen both statues.
Yeah, that's true. Just I thought I'd give it a shot.
I have the ultimate courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you with your final resting place, along with all who believe in you.
Is there no way to get to this guy?
You better pay attention. Pay very close attention.
Why were you in such a hurry?
Objection. In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That is why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime.
Sure.
Well, really concede I never left the stage.
Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
No, actually. It contradicts the Juniper's testimony then. Because he said he was there till 8:30 and she said she was there at 8:30 and she didn't see him. He was gone.
Yeah, she would have been seen, right? But he knew that she saw it. No, I don't. I know there's more to this and I won't stop until the truth comes out. I'd be careful, Athena, if you don't have anything. It's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something to nail him with. But,
When will you cease this nonsense? I'm quite busy today, as I was the night of the crime. If you're so busy today, why were you in the courtroom watching the trial?
Yeah, but you could have taken a short break or something.
Preposterous! I don't even have 10 minutes to spare. Even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. I ask you, Your Honor, do you find anything wrong with my claim?
So far, it appears that your statue making was quite difficult, sure. I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage.
Because also, why would the statues need to be covered? Like, what's the point in hiding what the statues look like?
Sure. The art room is only a few steps away. What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing on like crazy. That's all I can think of, too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to exploit.
Does something different happen if we say we accept it?
Sure.
It was the third and fourth that it popped up, right? Or was it
Yes. It was the second and fourth, wasn't it?
Hold it!
Yeah.
I tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. Tisk, I guess I concede.
I guess we were supposed to just give up, and then I think now Clavier's gonna come in with some evidence and is gonna help with a contradiction. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
Yeah. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
That's right. But what took you so long? Sir, at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly pay a visit.
I'm not gonna give up here. We're right up to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something. Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out that you have to. Yeah, I have to turn this case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Prof. Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit the murder without going
So
there.
I guess you are right. She came to him. What if that pool of blood they found in the art room was O'Connor's? The pool of blood that they had outlined and it got wiped away?
Yeah.
What if that's just O'Connor's blood and it's not even her blood?
Well, they never tested it, right? And you can't really do it from an empty stain. The pots and pans are definitely O'Connor's.
It seems like a young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary. Even casting stones. If it'll distract her. Ah, who brought this blood to school? Sykes, Dono. If I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between those two key facts?
Yo, what if he killed her, like, where I said he did, or somewhere around there? And then he hung her up, let the blood drip out of her in one specific way, and then carried the blood in the black banner and lifted it up via the line?
And that's why it got burned.
Yeah. The only answer is we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the crime scene. Professor Means was on the stage the entire time. Then he must be the killer.
Objection! Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was.
Continue, Sykes-Donner.
Okay, the murder was actually committed on here, on the stage.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
Objection!
God, I was right with this case. Holy shit. The only thing I was wrong about is I thought the pots and pans were someone pouring it into the... I thought the pots and pans were like... were you know who, Hugh O'Connor bringing it up and just going, pour, right?
Yeah. Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood at where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage, really. But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained.
This has a blood stain on it.
Take that!
Yep. It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this, the school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense.
That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found on that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by a wire makes more sense than not. Yeah, very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice in higher education? I'll write you the ultimate recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
He's already a lawyer, though. Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. The black one.
Take that!
Why? It looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner. It's a Gavanier's banner that's been specially made for school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Will the banner absorb the blood like a dishcloth? Yes, that would explain it. The Gavanier's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality.
Objection! Simon, don't just stand there, do something!
Silence.
Silence! Sykes-Donner, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you with this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. Why would there be blood if the murder occurred on the stage as you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to the court. It's
only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked evidence back to the abandoned art room. That the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It all makes perfect sense.
Gah! Gah!
Order, order. This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved.
Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How would you explain the loud crash you heard during the mock trial? It's caused by the body crashing into the statues. Then what was it? You pushing him over?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the skull banner shows that something was carried along the wire.
Oh,
in
it's
it.
the white statue crashing into him.
If that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down the wire to crash in the statue was...
Take that!
Ah! That statue!
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. But if he tossed the white statue down, wouldn't he have accounted for the color change and said gold?
No. Because remember, it was pre-recorded.
True. But... the unique statue you see on the right, that's a pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Silenced. Perhaps you were on to something. But why? Pray tell what anyone would have this scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner. Excellent questions, Simon. Keep them coming.
You know why, but the fact that you want to acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to point us to the body. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech for an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done.
Objection! This is bullcrap! You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says, and says what he means, by all means.
Fine then, say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anybody see the body the entire time?
Behind the stage.
It was easy. Yeah, that would maybe explain the drag marks there, yeah.
That could be explained by,
If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide the body upon the stage.
This is not good, Athena. Our claim is as close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far.
Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It has always been and always will be.
Just wait a minute.
Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her.
Ah,
And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco.
ah.
Oh! Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised a false charge against her friend. I mean, at the time, there was evidence, so, like, we had evidence to back up our claim, so, like, taking our badge for that, no. Sorry. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer.
You gonna have a freak out? Like a... Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me.
It's not over, Athena.
I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again?
Oh.
Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would.
Objection! You leave Athena alone, man! She's the one who saved me! It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best.
But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things.
It's gonna be Hugh.
To you this time.
He's gonna bring her back. Let's
Yeah.
go.
What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is...
Objection! It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, in this very moment, I still believe in you.
Junie,
I know you better than most people, Athena. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of law like the professor did.
thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your bleeding, assistant. You look like another fool.
Prosecutor Blackwell.
There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who.
I...
You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers whom the end justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But, Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
It's time to force a smile.
Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat.
Ooh, here we go.
Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where the body was found. We know this because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think about those lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Oh, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? Using the span of his time as a fake alibi created to move the body where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body in the hiding places
During the mock trial.
during. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech.
No, I don't think so. What did he make the crashing noise in comparison?
If it was while Junie wasn't there, it would have been the first 10 minutes. Professor Means moved the body to easily seen location during his long, pre-recorded speech. Professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in a school banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing two birds with one stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anything else to hide a body on that stage? Doesn't it seem likely? No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished, but it was only mostly done? Something that was used to cover the body up. But it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage.
It was covered on where the statue was.
I've been saying that!
You were saying backstage.
I said, well, I did say on stage as well.
No,
but
backstage, back behind the thing.
The problem is there blood in the wrap, right? You think they would have found that. And that way no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. The Wright statue.
Would it be his?
Because the Gavin statue was full, but there was barely any pieces of the Wright statue there. Oh, I know, the Mr. Wright statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the Wright statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. Whoa, what? I second that. What?
Now this is getting interesting. Objection! No, this is getting preposterous. How
Nobody
would
may
such
speak
a
to me.
thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm going to pose like the statue, so, like so. And now I just want you to wrap me up in a cloth so it looks like the statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice.
Who cares?
Well, given how sudden the request was, it kinda best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look like just like a statue of Mr. Right or what?
Thanks for some spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair. Who cares about the hair?
The statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyways. You gotta hand it to me for trying anyways. Wait, that's it! The hands! Here. The mark on her wrist. Tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No, besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how you tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's relaxed. That's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want?
It's one of these two.
I think it was behind the head. I'll tie both my hands behind my head. At least this will be funny.
Oh, there's the spike.
See, this makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. The arrow. With both hands behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. Can't help but thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now.
Gotta be the arrow.
Take that!
Oh, right, there was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. Just kill her in court, yeah. What, are you crazy?
I love how Black Hole's just standing there, just like, I love the entertainment this fool has given me. It's quite interesting.
Fine, and get some duct tape. Rapido, schnell. Alright, I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from two hands. Masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with cloth. I think she's holding it. I'm gonna make the arrow stand out, okay?
Yeah, she's holding the arrow there, I think. There we go.
Tell me the arm's too short. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm?
Like the all is not too big. Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you if you only, if only for your spirit and determination.
Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again, and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Yep. Understood, Judge.
Thanks, I guess I better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. The girl was murdered when she was stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Could be a staff. Apollo, show me the stage set of photos again. Like that right now? Okay, hold on.
His staff. It's got to be his staff, right?
It's long enough.
So I don't see anything else it could be.
Take that!
Got it. I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright.
This is absurd. There is no such thing in this photo.
Don't play down with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there.
Staff? This is the spirit of a great legal warrior.
Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm and a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
This feels so extra. And now everyone's like, hey, Phoenix.
We did it, didn't we? Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light?
Golden light. What I see before me is a pink specter of a man.
That's just because Mr. Wright looks like his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. Wow, that joke deserves a pink slip. Seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness?
Bah! The resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is test the spear for blood.
I mean, well, it would just be in her hand, though.
It would still leak on her.
Like, I feel like
It wouldn't have her prints on it, that's for sure.
no, if you position her body to hold it up, 'cause something has to be holding it up. She tied
But
her
her
body
hands are in the
with-
back. Her hands are bound together behind her head.
Oh, true. Both of her arms are. All right.
We'd assume the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in.
The staff is the murder weapon.
But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible, would I get rid of my spear? What if I burn it? That would just prove your guilt quicker. Him destroying his spear would be implied guilt. If I do that, I'll be found innocent. If I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Huh. Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate.
This wouldn't fly in normal court, but sure, let's go with it.
Gonna say jail. G? Gonna say guilty? Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means?
It is as Sykes-Stoner suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He is admitted to this heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. Teaching skills he can put to good use there.
Great, he'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was?
Humph. I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth.
One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too?
I eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the classmates. That led to her questioning him at length of the killing. Right there. The day of the killing. Right there on the stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents and the victim's notes. It seems he came up with a plan to staff the victim with her own awe in order to make the killing look like the one in the script, thus frame the defendant.
But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner.
Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class.
Really? So then...
Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This too was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. No other Constance court was clean, and only Aristotle Means took the bribes.
To think this professor would murder colleagues and try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court found the defendant Juniper Woods not
Yay!
guilty.
Hooray! Confetti!
I wish you all the best on your own road to becoming a courtroom judge. And we'll need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I will work hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with with all of you to make a difference. Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. Wow, that's surprisingly a good comment from him.
That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today.
Exactly, Athena.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Athena. I really mean it.
It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end, literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. Oh.
I wanted to thank you too, Apollo.
Don't mention it.
The way you were always there for Athena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center, where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like a warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolute amazing person.
Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench.
Haha, I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why, until that day, I'll...
Guys, I got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So what's the big news? The school festival, it was supposed to have been canceled after what happened, but...
We just got a call. Remember Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow.
Really? Oh, right. Oh, she's singing.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy.
Come on, Shiro, sing with them.
It's
No.
time for the guitar
It's a cut
serenade.
Ah.
Aww.
Apparently too much money to get them to actually sing it.
Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing.
I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Nah, your singing voice was amazing, Juniper. It could melt my HEART.
Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar.
Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, congrats on your mock trial win, although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm gonna make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court.
Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and Hugh won? Level-headed lawyer, course genius, and hot-blooded... So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper. There's something I've been wanting to say to you.
Yeah. Side note, did they update his profile with his age? Yeah, they did. It's like it'd be funny if they just forgot to do that. Yeah, he's actually 25, yeah. Huh?
Ooh, is he gonna do what I think he is?
Trucy, shut up. Shut up, Trucy.
Juniper. Can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been?
Ah.
Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love to Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Whoops.
Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin. Miriam.
It's you. Wait, that's me. Me too? Man's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science.
I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the dark age of law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And that the end justifies the means. Never justifies the means. Count me in.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. And what about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? Izzy, you're late. Yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word... Objection. And so after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled.
Uh-oh.
For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be
taking a
taking
leave of absence.
Pretty sure that's...
That
Even
Yeah, I
now.
think that might have been Apollo.
That's Apollo. Those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? There we go.